here in Iowa, as we are going to do some short track action. Last week we were in Rockingham. Brandon 6 got the win. He is way ahead of the field right now as it sits. But I'll tell you what, being halfway through this season right now, this is where it all counts. We've got the OSF Healthcare 200 laps here in Iowa. We got stage 1 at 50. Stage 2 is going to be at 110. I can't wait to see these drivers come out and do what they do. Last week was so much fun, and tonight's going to make not going to be any difference. My name is Jacob Emery alongside Steve Tucker in the booth. Steve, what are you thinking tonight here in Iowa for some short track? I believe the first track this year with this going on. What are your thoughts?
Yes, sir. Man, I'll tell you what. Yeah, short track racing, a little over an eighth of a mile here in Iowa. A little bit bigger than Richmond. And I'll tell you what, it acts kind of like Richmond, but it's also smoother. It's really, really bumpy in turn 1. So right now, these boys of the ASRA Cup Series are wrapping up practice. We're going right into qualifying. And a lot of fun here today, Emery. 200 laps. Going to be a good time today, short track racing.
Yeah, 200 laps, but I think they'll go by pretty quick. We were talking about it earlier, the OSF Healthcare. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. I think we're going to bring in Daryl so he can kind of speak on that. But, man, qualifying showing up now. They're going to get on the track and put some times in. The cool thing about Iowa is there's a lot of ways to move along this track. You can run the outside, inside, and even that middle groove. So we're going to take a look and see what these drivers can do as number 32 is on the track right now, going to make his first time.
Yes, sir. Nick Biddy on track, looking pretty good here today. Tell you what, these guys are excited. Last season, this was one of our, probably one of our better races, I would say, even though it went, had a lot of cautions, a lot of wrecks, a lot of self-spins, just loose conditions today, but really, really a fun place to drive. We'll see them take multiple grooves. You see Nick Biddy right here on the outside line, so definitely a lot going on here today. But to your point, Emery, you're right, OSF Healthcare, we're going to show a video here in just a second about what they're all about. Right here in the middle of qualifying. Then we'll bring in Daryl Young, who works for OSF Healthcare and is the sponsor of today's race. So really, really cool to see that. We'll hit that in just a second. Show you some of the qualifying first.
Absolutely. We saw DJ Honeycutt. He is on the pole right now with a 24.27. Daryl Young coming out. He's in the top 5 in points right now for this season. Love to see him out there up front, see what he can do today. He's been strong every single week. Number 51 now we're looking. Josh Larson, he's on the track, putting in a time. Number 7 as well. 15 out there. Man, good time so far. Pretty close. Real Biddy. It's your top 3 in Honeycutt on the pole. Lamphere in that 13. He's in 4th. Kaufman in that 25. He is sitting 5th. A lot of drivers out here need to go out and get on the track, put in a time, and you'll see these change a little bit. Man, Steve, how do you think you're going to win this race here at Iowa?
It's going to be tough. Loose conditions, like we said. Tires do play a role for the most part. Fuel, I think, will be a big play in stage 3. But honestly, it's going to be a tough call. It's really just, I mean, not so much battling the racetrack. Rockingham last week was definitely that kind of condition. But honestly, today, it's just, hey, just fighting, surviving kind of. Might be a lot of wrecks today. Short tracks typically have that. Hold on to your tempers and, hey, let's see what you can do.
Yeah, I love a little short track racing. I'll tell you what, some of these drivers, they were talking that it might be some cautions early on. And then I talked to a few other drivers. They're saying, hey, the long run's going to be the key to victory. I'm just not sure. I'm kind of torn. I think personally that there'll be some long runs. I think first stage at 50, I think we'll see it green all the way through. But I've been wrong before, Steve. Last week we talked about it. Rockingham was just an amazing race. We thought these drivers were going to come out and have some issues with that track, but they probably put on one of the best performances of the season. I think probably the best race of season 5. I don't know what your thoughts are.
Honestly, I would agree. I mean, it's a track that nobody expected it to be a great race, and yet it was. So I think that's really just a testament to the kind of drivers we have today. And in this series, man, Devin Smirker gets real high there on the turn 2 in his qualifying lap. But yeah, it's a lot of fun there last weekend for sure. And then today, obviously, in Iowa. Right now, we're going to hit that video, the OSF Healthcare video. We want to show you folks this great video as far as what they do, what they offer. They are today's sponsor, so we'll come back for qualifying the remainder of it. And check this out.
scanning left, and as I scan back straight, there's a vehicle, probably 15, 20 feet tops in front of me. And I had no time to react or do anything except for just think to myself, this is going to hurt very bad. And then the next thing that I remember was, like a shotgun blast, or louder. Almost like a cannon blast. It was loud, a loud thump, and because of the impact and everything, I felt it in my body. I could hear the helicopter show up, and then I remember actually being inside the helicopter and it taking off with me inside of it. Hearing the engines wind up, hearing the rotor, speed up, and the helicopter, lift off the ground. The main thing that I'm going to say is thank you for everything that they've done. From the actual flight crew for the life flight team, that would be the very first thing that I'd say is thank you. I'm going to use this opportunity that you guys have allowed me to have and really helped me get back, and I'm going to live my life to the fullest extent possible that I can. My name is Luke Masterson. I'm from Bradford, Illinois. I had a motorcycle accident on October 5th of 2016, and the reason why I'm here is because of Life Flight.
And we are back as we saw a short little clip, a video there, the OSF Healthcare Life Flight, very important aspect of that. Love to see that. I am in the motorcycle industry, and I'll tell you what, it is important and very nice to have something of that fact. And to talk a little bit more about it is Daryl Young. We're going to bring him in right now. Daryl, do you got a copy?
Yes, good evening.
Hey, how you doing, man? Just talk to us a little bit about the OSF and the healthcare, what they do. You guys are the sponsor here today for Iowa.
Yes, OSF Healthcare is a major healthcare organization in the state of Illinois, multiple hospitals, care centers, and just one division of OSF Healthcare is OSF Aviation. They're the biggest program in the state of Illinois, and just watching that video just gives me chills again. It's great. It's great to see stories like that. We definitely save lives, and it's a lot of hard work goes into that between everybody involved in aviation, and good stuff. Fantastic.
That's great to see. You're right. Life Flight, all that stuff, the healthcare system, anything and part of that is fantastic to see. We appreciate you coming in and talking a little bit about it, and good luck to you today on the race.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. That's Daryl Young. Just coming in, talk a little bit about the OSF Healthcare. Cool little clip, Steve. Love that. I love to see these different sponsors each week come out and just give a little talk about what they've got. So it's really cool to see him out here. Steve, qualifying is coming to an end here shortly. Brandon 6 is on the pole. Man, one driver out there that's still on a mission. Honeycutt, though, he's in second. Just got beat by 6.
Yeah, watch out for Honeycutt, man. He is on a tear today, looking really, really fast. Even Jonathan Wright right here, P3. Just came out. Brandon 6 looks like having some fun right here on his secondary qualifying lap. But Jimmy Graham still on track. You're right. A lot of good names up here. Kenny Reel, DJ, Jonathan Wright. A lot of surprises. Going to be great to see right here, obviously. So really, really cool. Right now, I have about a minute and a half left to go. Brandon 6, your provisional pole sitter as we speak. Let's go and thank our other sponsors before we get today's race underway. We'll come right back.
We are back again as we talked about our sponsors. We're back in Iowa. They have finished qualifying, and we're going to be starting to grid up. Brandon 6 is your pole setter. Steve, 200 laps, night race. Stage 1's at 50, stage 2's at 110. We are about to go green. I cannot wait to watch this race.
Yes, sir. Right now, Brandon 6 on the pole. Looking good, looking fast. But DJ Honeycutt, like I said, Jonathan Wright, Roger Pierce, Kenny Real, that whole top 5, even Nick Biddy in 6th. I mean, a lot of drivers here are looking really, really sharp early on in Iowa. We don't have many of these night races, and today, I'll tell you what, the sparks and the fireworks will be hitting the track. And it's going to be a lot of fun today, Emery. What do you expect? I mean, stages today, 200 laps. So stage 1 is lap 50, stage 2, lap 110. Fuel mileage, they can pretty much make those stages. If yellows come out, they'll be even better. But tell you what, a lot is going to go on today in today's race.
Yeah, I think there'll be a lot of green flag racing. I think we're going to see some green flag pit stops too. Last week we had a couple cautions, but not a whole lot. But I think when it comes down to it, I think it's going to be pit strategy. It's going to be tires. All the works like we've seen every single week as they are now gridding up. We're going to go racing here shortly. Going to be a long race though, Steve. These guys got to be patient.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Got to be careful, obviously. Tires, fuel strategy, a lot will come into play. 100%. And right now,
Race
this
car's
grid.
going to take us out, Steve.
Yes, sir. Here we go. This is the grid today. Tell you what, big field, 28 drivers again. Loving this. Midway through the regular season. And by the way, hey, big race today for Race Day Live, Emery. Take it away. What kind of date is it today?
Yeah, it's our 100th race. So that's a testament. That's cool to see. A lot of videos out there, and this has happened to be the 100 video of Race Day Live. So cool to see it in Iowa.
Yes, sir. Love that. Well, hey, rolling off the grid, Brandon 6, we know him. Rolling off P1, not on the track yet. Oh, there he is in that Battle Beaver machine. Looking good. Rolling off P1, DJ Honeycutt going to be in P number 2. Awesome starting spot for him today. Jonathan Wright, P3. Looking great right there in the number 04. Roger Pierce, 27, going to be rolling off 4th place. Loving that. Kenny Real, solid effort today. P5, Matt Smith going to be rolling off 6th right there. Daryl Young going to be in 7th place. Awesome effort. Michael Lamphere, P9. Great job. Devin Smacker going to be top 10. As that tribute right there to Sherry Pollux on the side of the car. Unfortunate news out of the NASCAR world. So a tribute right here for that 26. Love that. Jamie Graham rolling off P11, looking good. Donnie Honeycutt, 12th place. Matthew Fleming in 13th. Joseph Mealy rolling off 14th. Anthony Williams going to be rolling off in 15th in that Butler Brothers Sand and Gravel, looking sharp. James Graham in that 25. Josh Larson, 17th. Nick Simpson in the 18, Sauer and Sons. Scott Casorn, that gold Budweiser looking good today. Tyler Honeycutt, 20th place. Marshall Harris rolling off P12. Mike Corvo, 22nd right there. Thomas Meeks in that Wills America machine, looking good there. Jackson Anderson, 24th place. Frankie Barroso, pretty far back. Looks like he didn't maybe qualify, but there he is in that 48 Bowie Esports. Looking good in that picture there too. Brandon Bowie makes the field, 54. Machine looking good. Again, back in the pack. Rubber Hassan going to be tailing us off in the back of the pack in the caboose spot. But again, hey, having great runs so far. Expect him to be absolutely up front before this thing is over. Emery, that's the field. We're about to go green.
We are about to go green. Iowa Speedway, 200 laps. Again, stage 1's at 50, stage 2's at 110. Talk about it. Interesting to see some of those guys in the back. Bowie and Frankie, even Anderson, and back there just hanging out. But guess what? Pace car's off, and we are live here in Iowa for 200 laps. Brought to you by the OSF Healthcare 200. Brandon 6 on the inside. Gonna take us away. Honeycutt and 04 of Wright right behind.
I mean, we're going to see 2 wide all day long. The inside lane's pretty strong, but the outside lane on older tires does work very, very well, and we're already seeing it happening right now.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that. I think these long runs, you'll see these guys run that outside lane. I think it's a pretty comfortable spot, but right now, single file up front, and guys are going to be running the inside as we got some traffic in the back. Almost about 3 wide, but you're right. Side by side, majority of the time. 2 laps down now.
The short track, Emery, under a mile long, 0.8 of a mile. And right now, the whole front of this field kind of getting single file right now, looking pretty good. Daryl Young making a move on the inside of Devin Smirker.
Some interesting spots to pass. You know, you got to hit that inside lane. But like I talked about it, I don't think we'll see too many cautions here early. We're going to have some long runs. One driver going way inside there, crossing the start-finish line. Everything is good. 4 laps down. Nothing's changed up front. As we're looking to these guys in the back, trying to battle their way through.
Yes, sir. Right now, a lot going on. Brandon 6 still up front. Roger Pierce got around. He's back in P2 right now, so great effort right there. DJ Honeycutt and Jonathan Wright holding on still to that top 5 starting spot. Great job so far.
Only 5 down. Rogers already gone up 2 spots there in the second spot. Good for him. Tyler Honeycutt back there in 17th. He's jumped up 2 spots. Keeney Reel still in 5th as well in that top 5 position. These laps are going to go by quick. Stage 1 ends at 50. They've got only 4 sets of tires, Steve.
Yeah, tires really shouldn't be a huge part of tonight. I mean, the right front tire is going to burn off here pretty hardcore, depending on where you run. Outside line for sure. But, I mean, right now, everyone's taking it easy, kind of settling in. This is a tough track. Definitely loose conditions. The outside line definitely provides some relief for that. But right now, not a lot of drivers having some handling issues, it looks like. Pretty solid effort right now by these guys.
Yeah, we're taking a look at number 51 of Josh Larson. He's down 5 spots at the moment. He's sitting 23rd. Maybe just hanging back for a bit, letting these cars settle a little and see how he can maneuver through the field. But right now, he's just hanging out. He's just chilling there.
Yes, sir. Right now, looking pretty good. Back up front, mid-pack. Single file starting to come down right here. As we're right about lap 8, coming into lap 9. Matt Smith here in that 29 machine looking pretty good today. Hasn't really had the season so far I think he's wanted, but right now, just, hey, this could be it, right? Second half of the season. This one race could be can be all it takes to kind of spark that.
Yeah, he's going to need to make some moves here. You're right. Halfway through the season, over halfway now. We were talking about it early. This is where it all counts. This is where the points matter. They've got to put some points on the board early to try to get to those playoff spots. Brandon 6 obviously has already secured that. He's in the playoffs. He's going to be racing for a championship. But, man, some of these other guys, Biddy, Real, Smith, Honeycutt, Pierce, number 27, he's been strong all season too. You got to come out here and get a good finish because it's a long ways from Brandon 6 to the other drivers. As we're talking about Brandon Bowie, I think he's sitting in 3rd or 4th. He's still back there in the back of the pack, trying to make his way through there, and he's doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, we're seeing it right now. I mean, Frankie Barroso, Brandon Bowie, both just, I mean, basically last place right now. So not sure what's going on here for these two Bowie Esport teammates. Obviously taking it real easy right now, but man, oh man, hey, maybe some early fuel strat, maybe some just holding on to those tires for the second half. Maybe this first stage break, they don't take tires at all and just hold on to that set. So a lot could be happening here for sure.
Yeah, one driver of Jamie Graham, he's in that 87. He's up 2 spots now. Actually make it 3 spots. He's in the top 10. He's battling here with the number 26 and 29 of Matt Smith. So good little run here as they are single file at the moment. One car back there blinking a little bit. 13 laps down now, Steve. Still a long way to go to that stage 1 mark at 50.
Yes, sir. Long race today. I mean, obviously 200 laps anywhere is a long time, but here especially, these laps tick off pretty quick. But right now, everyone's, like I said earlier, still kind of settling in and seeing what kind of car they have. Not a lot of practice time in this league, so you're really gonna just kind of dive in, see what happens. Mike Corvo right now looks like he's off the track. Not sure what happened there. Unfortunate for him, but Back of that pack. A lot of guys here trying to move forward. Jonathan Wright. Whoa. Fell to the bottom of our ticker there. Not sure what happened there for him, but does not look like he's back in that top of the field. So we'll carry that once we figure out what actually happened there. But craziness going on. A couple of drivers are actually out right now. Mike Corvo, Jonathan Wright out of the race.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the board now. Josh Larson's 5 laps down. Looks like he's possibly out. Jonathan Wright now, he's out. And Mike in the 97, he's 3 laps down. So I'm not sure what happened in the back. Very interesting. We may have to go back and take another look. One guy that's not out of the race right now, that's number 8 of Robert Hassong. He's up 7 spots. He started in the back, but trying to break that top 20 mark. Looking pretty good. He's back there with Brandon Bowie. Brandon Bowie's still in 22nd. Frankie also in that number 24. Or sorry, excuse me, that 48. He's in 24 spots. So very interesting strategy by these guys.
Yes, sir. We will watch and see what happens there for Jonathan Wright and Mike Corvo. Could have been some disconnection errors. That can sometimes plague the internet racing world, so hate to see that. Right now, Devin Sprecher making a move around Jamie Graham, trying everything he can. These two have been fighting for quite a bit now, about 8 laps.
You go back even farther than to Matt Smith and Michael Lanford in the 13. They're battling out as well. Single file now.
Yes, sir. Joseph Mealy. I know he's got some fans here in the chat today. Love that. Trying to make his moves, trying to get to that top 10 spot. Stage ends in about 30 laps. Definitely wants to get those points.
Man, oh man, Steve, so far clean. No yellows. 19 laps down. Right now, what do you think is going on with some of these drivers hanging out in the back? Did they think it was going to be some cautions coming out, or is that why they're hanging back, just waiting for that to happen?
Well, again, I mean, like, you know, as far as like season over season, right? Last season's Iowa race, if anybody recalls, it was pretty. I mean, there were a lot of cautions, right? A lot of cautions, a lot of spin outs, a lot of getting loose, and right now we're just not seeing that early on as we cross the 10% mark of today's race. So, I mean, right now it's kind of trending as if we're going to get long green flag runs, you know, basically from what you said earlier. So we'll see. Right now it's going to be, it's trending pretty good so far. And obviously, again, it's a testament to the amount of talent we have here today in this league, but also just, you know, the setups and the track conditions. So I think you're right. At this point, long green flag runs might be the case, Emery. You called it.
Yeah, and I was talking to Michael Lanfear. He's saying, hey, in practice, we had a lot of drivers, you know, getting in some incidents and having some issues. But again, they come back out here at Iowa and doing the complete opposite of that. I thought last week at Rockingham, we were going to have some major issues, and drivers were really talking about the track and saying how loose it was. And then they came out and did great. But as we talk about it, our first caution just happened. Steve, let's take a look and see who's involved here.
Yeah, right now it's going to be Nick Simpson and Rob Hassong. Nick. There you go. Okay, so these two get together. Looks like not a lot of damage on these cars, which is great. Looks like it might have been a slow speed incident. We'll go back and take a look for sure, but
that's too bad. Nicholas Simpson in the wall. Robert Hassong right here.
Oh, man, yeah, so you see it right here. So, yeah, so the 46 comes up into the 8, just comes across his hood. Unfortunately, doesn't really have a lot of damage. Well, I guess that's a good thing for both of these cars. We did see Brandon Bowie also get involved in that as well. So let's see if we can check on him. Some pretty hardcore.
Looks like Brandon had to go all the way down.
Oh.
He had some contact as he hit the fence on the inside. Oof, little bit of contact there. Unfortunate, Steve. I think Brandon wanted to avoid that at all costs, and unfortunately got mixed up in a back of the pack wreck.
Yeah, sometimes when you stick out back, or maybe miss qualifying or whatever the situation was, that can be a tough thing, and you're out back and you don't really want to. But yeah, Hassong's left rear not too bad, or left front has some damage, but overall not too bad there. And obviously Nick Simpson's car on the right side. some scrapes and some, beats and bangs, but honestly not too bad considering what it could have been. So, hey, first caution of the day, lap 24. And honestly, they'll get these cars fixed and off we go. So not too bad there, Emery.
Fantastic. Well, 24 laps down. We got to go to the 50 mark for stage 1. Good action so far in this race at Iowa. Can't wait to see what happens down the road. Stage 2 is going to end at 110. It seems like it's so far away, but like we were talking, I think we'll have a lot of green flag racing. 4 sets of tires doesn't seem like it's going to matter a whole lot, but when we get these cautions, they go in and get some fuel. And the strategy just changes every single time, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, right now, I don't think we're going to see a lot of, drivers come down. I mean, obviously, right now, we haven't seen anybody come down. So it's obvious that people can make it on fuel. So it's just a matter of, hey, do you take the tires or do you not? So I think that's going to be the big one. Stage 1, I don't think you'd take the tires. You only get the 4 extra sets. So use those late in the race to maybe gain some spots or maybe even like a late race restart. But for now, no takers.
Yeah, everybody's staying out there. Josh Larson, he is back. He's in that 16th spot now, up 2 spots. I thought he had disappeared from the track, but he's still out here doing what he's got to do. Top 5 right now. Brandon 6 up front in that Chevy. Roger Pierce, that 27. He's in that Chevy as well in 2nd. DJ Honeycutt 3rd. Nick Biddy 4th. And Kenny Reel coming out. He's top 5. Started top 5 and sitting right there. Good run by him early on at Iowa.
Yes, sir. Love to see it. We're now Choose car is out on the track, so we're going to get some choosing action here as we come across the line here. Loving this. What line do these drivers pick right now as we come across? Inside lanes. Brandon 6, I think, just buzzed the tower a bit as we saw the vibration on the camera.
That was a little closer, a little close to comfort there.
A lot of
inside
inside
you're seeing
lines.
these drivers inside lane right there, Steve.
But this is where they can kind of play around. If you see a lot of people take the inside line, hey, you know what? Take the outside lane, gain a bunch of spots for free, and see what happens.
Yeah.
So pretty cool.
Do love to see all these drivers be so patient early on at these races. Big turnaround, big change from what we saw last year. But man, season 5, these guys are really coming out and put on a show each week. And I'll tell you what, I love to see it. I mean, it makes for great racing. It's fun to be in the booth with you and watch these guys do what they do. And I can't wait till playoffs start and see how some of these drivers, that may change. I think that patient might go away and they'll get after it a little bit more.
Definitely agree right now. I mean, hey, we're about halfway through stage 1, so a lot can still happen. The heat at some point, Emery, is going to definitely increase. And I don't think right now is that time, but it'll happen for sure today at some point in the race.
Well, again, 66 up front on the inside lane is going to take us into 1 and 2. This pace car is going to come off. We're going to go back to green. 27 laps down, 28 when they cross. 6 and Pierce, 1 and 2 up front. Green flag. We're back racing. They're going to battle it out as Brandon 6 takes us into 1 on the inside.
And 2 wide right here. 3 different lanes being utilized right now. Bottom, middle, and then top. Love to see that. Short track racing, but also multi-groove racing. Good times.
Yeah, that's what some of the drivers were talking about. There's a lot of ways to run this track. I think later in the race we'll see it unfold, but right now that inside is the preferred lane.
Looking good right now, bringing back that tower. Lap 30, 20 laps to go until stage 1 concludes. Right now up front, Brandon 6. It is all about him right now, but Roger Pierce, he is trying to track him down. Can he get there?
Jamie Graham in the 87, that Chevy, he's up 4 spots. He's now sitting in 8th.
Looking good right now. 2 wide still. Michael Lamphere trying to make a move here on the inside of Joseph Mealy. Strong run. Oh, Tyler Honeycutt was up against the inside of Josh Larson right there. Had some contact, but not too bad. They both keep it going 3 wide right here for Tyler.
Man, Frankie's right in that mix too, in that 48. He's up 11 spots, so he's trying to make his move. But guess what? A ton of traffic right there that he's trying to get battling out. And man, that can burn up some tires. He's doing pretty good right now early on. Frankie, 12 spots now. He's sitting 14th. We're on board right now with Tyler Honeycutt right in that mix as he's battling with Frankie. He's in that number 3 car at Chevy. He's up 4 spots in 15th.
I mean, Tyler right now making it work in 3 wide. Gonna poke in here behind Anthony Williams. Gonna make that work, make it stick. And then Frankie Broso right behind him. Gonna lose a spot right there, actually. So, great effort right now. Tyler Honeycutt making the middle line work.
That black and blue Tar Heel car, love to see that. Good paint scheme. Now he's on the outside. 55 of Meeks is trailing right behind. See if he can try to make a pass on him. 34 laps down now, getting closer to the end of stage 1.
Yes, sir. Also, Matthew Fleming right here. I haven't talked much about him yet, but right now, currently in P20, a fast driver. 3 wide, going to be getting in contact a little bit with Marshall Harris. Close right there between teammates. But right now, a great effort. A lot of big-name drivers, Emery, in the back of the field. Very, very curious about that.
Yeah, we'd have to bring one of these drivers in maybe and talk to them later in the race and see what their thought process is, because Brandon Bowie is still now sitting in the back. He's in 25th. He's sitting, I believe, 3rd in points standings this season. So he's just hanging back there waiting for it to all unfold. Jackson Anderson, he's in the 21st spot. He's up 2 spots in the 83. Man, interesting calls by some of these drivers on what they're trying to come out here and do. But, man, it might pay off for them, as they might know something that we don't.
I agree 100%. Right now, Thomas Meeks in the back of the field as well. Anthony Williams. A couple of drivers here trying to make some moves. Middle of the pack right now, but still early enough to contend for that win later on in the race. Thomas Meeks going to make the middle line work. Right in between Donnie Honeycutt. So far, Meeks is looking pretty good, making the inside lane work, and to try and get another position here around Williams.
Meeks in that 55. One driver that I know wants to come out here and get a top 5 finish, even a win. Every race, it seems like he's in that middle of the pack, trying to make his breakthrough race and win this season, but nothing has happened so far, as we're looking at that 18 of Daryl Young. He went back to that white and blue Grey Goose paint scheme. Love to see that. Michael Lamphere, he's in 10th right now. Nothing's changed for him. He's in that top 10th position. Now Josh Larson, Steve. Josh Larson at 51, he's up 7 spots. He's sitting right there at 11th.
He's getting there. Keep in mind, Josh Larson was almost... Oh, gets it to Michael Lamphere. Lamphere holds on to it. Back in the pack, we got a bigger issue.
Out.
Oh, man.
Oh, man, let's see what happened here. 39, 40 laps. That's Scott and Nicholas Simpson's involved again. That brings out our second caution.
Yeah, we thought for a second that the contact between Larson and Lamphere might have brought out a yellow, because Lamphere was really, really squirrely. But this right here, unfortunately, is going to be caution number 2. Let's go back and take a look. Oh, man, Scott Casoren just gets turned.
That's a big hit, Steve.
That's real. Yeah, that's not... that is not what you want to see right there for Scott Casoren in that number 7, but take a couple more looks at it. We'll go back a little further, see if we can kind of piece together what actually happened here. But let's go. So Scott Casoren right here going to be hit potentially by that 83. Jackson Anderson. Yeah, it looks like Anderson comes up, coming out of the corner, and then just Scott overcorrects, unfortunately, and collects into that 46 of Nick Simpson. And that's going to be big damage there for the 7. Hate to see that, Emery, but man, that's racing.
Yeah, Scott in that number 7, that may be the end of his race. I mean, that's such huge contact on that outside wall. Jackson Anderson coming up a little bit, causing the second caution. Unfortunate. And I don't think we'll hear the end of that. I think we'll have a little bit of conversations going on in and after the race chat. So unfortunate there, but man, oh man, second caution, 41 laps down, and it's going to be a little bit of a shootout to end of stage 1 at 50 laps. Every point counts. If you do win the stage, you do get 1 point. So guys are out here trying to get all the points they can. Right now, as the standings stand, Brandon 6 has got 37 points on the board early on. Halfway through the season, Brandon Bowie is actually in second with 7, and Frankie, he's in third. Pierce Smirker, he's in fourth. That's your top 4. Get some more drivers on the board as the season goes on. This race has been fantastic so far, Steve, and can't wait to see what this end of stage 1 brings us. Brandon 6 still up front, and Pierce right on the tail at 27.
Yeah, I mean, right now it's going to be Brandon playing with the choose card yet again. Love that. But yeah, I mean, hey, I mean, this is a tough track. We expected there to be cautions today for sure. Very similar to Rockingham last week. You know, it's just tough track and short track, close quarter, you know, racing and stuff. So not surprised to see that. But hey, early on, have maybe about 6 laps to go in stage 1. This could get pretty interesting, Emery. Who's going to get this stage? Can Roger Pierce steal one here? DJ Honeycutt, keep in mind, too, he has not moved at all. He is still right there in that top 3. He could sneak this one away for sure.
Absolutely. Well, while we're under caution real quick, just want to say a big shout out to Admin Box, Units Moving Portable Storage, Battle Beaver, Harpoon Design, Sim Motion, and our sponsored race, OSF Healthcare here at Iowa. We want to thank everybody at home at Race Day Live for tuning in. Appreciate your support every week here on a Tuesday. This is going to be a night race, a little bit different for us. We don't have too many night races, but I always love to have a night race. The lights out just looks really cool for the aspect of the track and the race vibe. I love to see it as we're looking everybody on the track right now, choosing if they're going to do the inside or outside lane. I think right now, what do you do, Steve? Because it's late in stage 1, going to be a little bit of a shootout. You want to go outside and maybe get the quick times, come in and change the tires?
That might be the case. I mean, it's just, you know, at this point you kind of know what or where your car feels the best at. So right now you kind of just have to decide, hey, this is going to be, you know, the outside line, lower line, whatever it might be. As we see, a lot of drivers didn't really pick anything crazy. Brandon 6 still choosing the inside line. So obviously for him, that is working out the best.
Yeah, a little bit of change up Devin and that number 26, that Ford. He's in 4th position, so he may be flirting with a stage 1 win, get 1 point on the playoff board. Love to see him up there. That all things go car, that 26. 27, though, Pierce. Tell you what, Steve, he's been out here every single week trying to get that win. He's came close plenty of times. This might be the day for him to come out and beat Brandon 6.
It could be, and right now it has to start here, especially getting to stage 1. So we'll see what he has for him. Right now, Pacer are going to take that hard left turn. We're going back green.
We're going to go back green. Pace cars off. 44 laps down. 45 when they cross. Brandon 6 gets a big jump on the inside lane. Pierce in the 27, 15 Honeycutt. Smirk in the 26, and Kenny Reel in that 11. Top 5. Only 5 laps to go to the end of this stage. Who's going to take it? Brandon 6 out front early on, but back in the pack, they're battling side by side.
Matt Smith way up high right there, 3 wide. We're going to see a lot of this later on today for sure. Heat going to get turned up. And right now, up front, Devin Smirker gets around DJ Honeycutt. That P3 spot, what does he have for this front 2?
Love to see that. He's up 6 spots now in the top 3. Can he make it work? DJ now's in 4th. Kenny Reel's in 5th. Nothing's changed there. Nick Biddy's in 6th. Jamie Graham up 5 spots. He's in 7th in the 87. 47 laps down, 3 to go.
Man, again, a big day today for Kenny Reel, currently in P5. Looking so good. He told us, hey, he loves this track in this setup. So what can you show us today in that Jordan's number 11 looking good today? Devin Smecker. Here he comes around Roger Pierce.
Man, trying to battle, get a win there. Pretty good driving by both of them. Roger and Devin battling out. Devin now is up to second, up 7 spots. 49 laps down. We're going to go to the 50 mark, and that will be the end of stage 1. Brandon 6 looks like he's going to get the stage 1 win. Devin's going to be in 3rd, and Roger Pierce is in, or excuse me, Devin's going to be in 2nd. Roger Pierce is in 3rd. Man. As Brandon 6 is going to cross.
Canyon Real had a big moment right there. Just turned in, got real loose. Keeps it going.
Man, Kenny Real now in 11th. He's doing good so far early on in this race, but he's kind of under the weather too, battling. He's got some issues, not feeling the greatest, but he's out here doing a good job. That's the 66 now, your stage 1 winner. We are now 50 laps in. Brandon 6 going to add another point to the board. Congratulations to him. Looking very strong as always, Steve.
Looking good, man. Awesome effort right there by the 66. P2, Devin Smecker. He's right there. Didn't qualify so hot, but there he is in P2 looking good. Roger Pierce in P3. Awesome effort right now by a bunch of these drivers. Frankie Barroso back up to P9. We were worried about him, thinking why is he back there, but right now, a lot of guys having a pretty good effort. So right now, I guess during the pit stops, we'll go real quick and thank our sponsors. We'll come right back. All right, we are back, and right now, a lot of drivers taking pit road. What do they have right now? Brendan 6 leads us back off. Devin Smucker, DJ Honeycutt going to remain in their positions right now. Roger Pierce loses a spot. Nick Biddy holding on to it. Stage 1 has concluded. Brandon 6 is going to be your Stage 1 winner. So we'll dial him up in just a second. Some big gainers here. Frankie Barroso coming up P7. Gained 2 spots right there under that pit selection. Great job right there. So Brandon 6, we'll bring him in if we can as they catch up to that pace car. Looking great today so far. See if we can go sneak him in. Here he is. Hey, 6, it's Steve in the booth, man. You got me?
Yeah, how's it going?
Looking pretty good. Obviously looking pretty good yourself. Right now in P1, holding on to it. How's the track feel out there?
Pretty good. I think we're gonna see it kind of start to widen out a little bit more as we get later and later in this race and starts to get a little bit racy. The top line in 3 and 4s the quicker line for sure, but it kind of eats through tires, so it's kind of a mouse and oh my gosh, cat and mouse game.
Yeah.
Kind of playing the bottom and top, trying to manage the tires and obviously have something for the long run as well.
I love them, man. Obviously Stage 1 winner, so keep that up. Going for another win today. Looking strong as usual. So, hey, man, congrats again. Good luck rest of the way.
Thank you.
Alrighty, that's Brandon 6. Looking really, really good. Love that, man. I'll tell you what, strong effort right there. A lot going on for these drivers. Stage 1 has concluded, obviously, and Brandon Davis, our choose car aficionado, is now going to be in there. We'll see what lanes they choose right now. A bunch of drivers picking the outside lane. Nick Biddy chooses the inside lane. Going to gain a spot by doing that. So looking pretty good right there for sure.
All right, Steve, I'm back. Had to address the situation real quick, but everything's under control.
Oh, good to hear.
Well, Yeah, we had a little barbecue fire going on, so I had to go down and put that out, and
Here in the booth?
everything's back to. What's that?
Here in the booth?
Well, not quite. I mean, outside here.
Oh, okay.
I apologize.
So trackside.
But yeah.
Gotcha.
Yes, trackside. Yes, in the RV park there was a fire going on.
Oh, geez.
Everything is good now.
That's good to hear.
All right, Steve. Well, man, 55 laps now. They've chosen, and they're gonna go back green flag racing.
Yes, sir. Tell you what, right now, this is going to be about the same length. Next stage will be at lap 110. So we'll have about what's the math on that? 55 laps to go. So basically another of the exact same length race. So should be a fun time. They know what they did in the first stage. So second stage, just do it again. Right now, Brandon 6 can lead us back off. What do these guys got for him today, Emery?
Man, I don't know. I think it's gonna have to come down to Brandon making a mistake for them to get by him, but you never know. That number 26 has been on his tail all day long. Let's see what can happen. They're gonna bring us in a 1 and 2. We are back, green flag at Iowa. 200 laps, 56 laps in. We got a long way to go. I think these drivers in the back that were hanging out just trying to see what was gonna unfold for this race are now no longer doing that. They're gonna try to drive the cars wheels off and try to get to the finish up front here.
Me and Roger Pierce were there in the wall on a turn 3 and 4. You heard Brandon 6 say it. 3 and 4 on the outside lane is faster, but man, oh man, getting into the wall is not going to be a good day for your race. Frankie Barroso going to try and get around here now in that 48.
Yeah, Frankie's all the way up here in 6th now, 20 spots up. He's in that Chevy. Roger Pierce has fallen back a little bit in the 27. He's battling with Frankie. He's 2 spots down. Another name, Steve, we haven't talked about it all day. Marshall Harris in that 12th.
That's
Man,
right.
where'd he come from? He's up 14 spots. He's in that top 10, coming out early and doing a fantastic job at Iowa.
Yes, sir. Looking really, really good right there right now. A little further back. A couple drivers fighting hard. We saw Matt Smith getting up into the side of the 87. Jamie Graham right now looking pretty good though. Nick Biddy making a move here for P2. Nick Biddy having a career day so far. Emery looking really, really strong. Awesome to see.
Nick Biddy in the 32's in 2nd. Right behind Brandon 6. He's in that Nick Biddy design car. Looking really nice. Paint scheme out.
Tell you what, we noticed that for sure. Nick Biddy is making a move. Another one who's having a great day as well, Joseph Mealy. He's one of those drivers that has done really well this season, but he kind of sneaks under the radar. He's never really, necessarily leading or winning stages, but man, he is consistently finishing in the top 5 and top 6. And right now, yet again, having one of those days. Just really, really good, really fast.
Joseph Mealy right now on the standing, he's sitting at 9th. So you're right, he's been consistent all season long. He's broken that top 10 for standing so far. Love to see him up here.
Awesome job. Devin Smucker trying to get around Roger Pierce. Can't quite get it done. Further on back, Matthew Fleming racing around his teammate, Thomas Meeks, and then right behind him, Josh Larson. So a bunch of flagship drivers right here, seeing what they can do.
Man, I'll tell you what, Brandon Bowie in that 54, he's in the perfect spot. He doesn't have too much traffic in front of him. He can kind of run his line, and he's got the traffic behind him with Matthew Fleming and Thomas Meeks in that 55. They're going to battle it out as I speak. Now Brandon's going to try to pass Marshall, so he's falling back a little bit.
Yes, sir, an awesome job by Brandon Bowie. Getting back to the front, that's what it takes sometimes. Nick Simpson, hey, even after all this troubles today, and some not necessarily his own fault, right now currently in 17th place. Looking really good right now. Car looks pretty solid. Spent some time in the pit stops fixing that damage. And here he is, holding on to a solid effort right now in P17.
I think that patient really pays off, Steve. I think right now that's what you got to do. You got to just hang back and make your move. You got to time it well. As the majority of these guys are running that outside lane now. Not too much side-by-side action.
Yeah, it's tough because, I mean, again, we heard it. You know, Brandon 6 says the top is the fastest way to go around 3 and 4, but you don't want to use it too much because it'll burn your tires up. It's kind of like Bristol. So it's tough to know when to go and when to hold it.
Thomas Meeks in the 55 has fallen back a little bit, but still in that top 20 mark. He's up 5 spots, but getting past him and Marshall Harris are battling it. Well, I wonder what happened to Marshall Harris. He was just up there in that top 10, but now he's fallen all the way back to 16th.
Yeah, tough to say. I mean, right now, right now on the middle lane, maybe outside lane, he's trying to flirt with it. Michael Lamphere, drifting around that corner. Turn
Got
4.
a little loose there. Oh, 5 diving way inside to make that pass on Michael. That's John. No, excuse me. That's Anthony Williams.
Yeah, that was
what a move there.
Job. Very good move. Anthony Williams having a good day right now in P18 so far. It is early, Emery. We have a long way to go.
We got to go all the way to the 110 mark for stage 2. You're right. We got a long way to go. I am curious to see what that end of final stage all the way to the 200 mark, what that's going to look like. Those guys have to go from 110 to all the way to 200. That's going to be a long, long stage. And, man, that's going to be fun to watch these guys battle, and then that's when the strategy comes into play there.
Exactly. And right now, I mean, yeah, as you see it, there's a lot going on right here. I mean, right here, this is for top 5. We're seeing drivers battling pretty hard right now, early on in this stage.
And Joseph Mealy, Nick Biddy, those 2 drivers, love to see them in the top 5. They're doing a fantastic job here early on at Iowa. Really figuring this track out. Nick Biddy especially, man, in that Ford. He's behind Brandon, but not by much. He's right there with him.
I'll tell you what, Nick Biddy is one of those guys who's been with the ASRA Cup Series for a long time, basically up until Season 1, Season 2. And right now, Nick Biddy is just having a really, really good race today. Love to see this. Love to see the progression that drivers have throughout seasons. And I can tell you what, Nick Biddy has done very, very good. And today proving that he can be fast and is fast. And right now, currently in P2. Trying to contend for a win here and a stage win. Love to see that from Nick Biddy.
Kenny Real fell back a little bit at the end of that stage 1, but now he's made his way back up to in the 6th position. He's trying to make it in the top 5. He's only one car down from where he started. He started 5th, sitting 6th. Pretty good run by him as well.
Yes, sir. Further on back, these guys are starting to figure it out. Single file right now. Only really making the passes when they need to. Still early on in this stage, so you still want to hold on to your tires, assuming this thing can go green the entire way. Right now, we're seeing that. A lot of drivers settle down.
Yeah, I think it will. I think we'll see this go all the way to the end of stage 2. 74 laps down. So much time left in this race. As you're starting to see this field kind of spread out.
Man, Marshall Harris, to your point. Sorry to cut you off, Emery, but man, Marshall Harris having a real struggle right now. Currently in 23rd place. Don't see any damage really on that car, and he was up to like 10th, and right now maybe just burned that rubber off, but hard to tell, man.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. I mean, maybe it's a situation where he wants to fall back and try to save, but it wouldn't make sense to me. But you're right. Now Marshall Harris all the way back in 23rd. So
Nick Simpson, same thing. I mean, we saw him have some damage there on the right side early in the race, but honestly, it's not that bad considering we're at a short track. And right now, just overall pace is just so off right now. So not sure if there's some engine damage or maybe just the tires are just really, really burnt up. Tough to tell, but we'll definitely hold on to that storyline as we go.
Absolutely. If that is the case with the tire situation, You can really see how easy it is to do here at this track. But man, this battle right now, we're looking at that 3 car of Tyler and Jackson on the outside battling it through. Jackson is now up 7 spots, sitting at 16 and making that outside lane work. Can you get past the 29 of Matt Smith? Thomas Meeks up front there too. Looks like he's going to get past on the inside.
Yes, sir, looking good right now. Passing Matt Smith on the outside, potentially. Also an update. Looks like we have Richard Walsifer in the chat. You would know him by the number 56 Stins built machine that you see in this series. Unfortunately, as he says, has to miss a couple weeks due to work. But hey, man, it's all good, dude. We get it. And we'll catch you next time you're here. Always a spot for you, obviously. Still plenty of time to chase for that championship. And I'll tell you what, Walsifer, man, watch out for him on track. He is fast. Very, very fast. Speaking of fast, DJ Honeycutt, Frankie Barroso, these two, great qualifying effort by DJ Honeycutt. Still holding on to that top 7 right now, but Frankie is trying to make a comeback to the front of the field.
Man, Frankie up 18 spots. He is making his way through the field, but I'll tell you what, this battle between DJ Honeycutt, we got Graham back there. Watch out for these 3 drivers, even Kenny Real up there. It's going to be a mess late in this stage, too. They're going to be battling out. As right now, Frankie's got his work cut out as he's trying to get past DJ.
That's right. And then further up at the front of the field, Devin Smucker has caught up to Nick Biddy. Nick Biddy might have gotten up here by using up those tires early, and Devin Smucker potentially holding on to these tires even longer. So we'll see how these drivers have a car on long runs, Emery. That's going to be kind of the case here today. Long run speed. Right now, that is the case here for stage 2. Not something you always see on a short track, especially on this platform, as obviously things can go awry at times. But right now, long green flag run seems to be the storyline here in stage 2.
Yeah, and surprisingly that Devin and Nick are kind of battling. I would figure they might jump into a single file formation and kind of just work together, because I know Brandon 6 way ahead of the field, but I wouldn't want to burn him up if I'm sitting in 2nd or 3rd. But man, that 26 of Devin's really trying to get past number 32, and now we have a caution that just came out. Looks like Donnie Honeycutt is in the wall. This will bring out our 3rd true caution of the day. Let's take a look and see what happened.
Yeah, that'll change some things for sure. It happened right in front of Brandon 6. This is Mike Corvo right here. Donnie Honeycutt's also in the pits already, so man, that was a tough break right there. Let's go back a little bit, see if we can figure out what happened here to Donnie Honeycutt. So Donnie's in the wall right here. Comes down. Okay.
And then back into the wall. Did his wheel disconnect, or what's going on here?
Yeah,
it doesn't seem natural there.
Tries to come down pit road right there. Not sure if he towed right there. Oh, still on track. Oh, and then Mike Corvo just comes on through and has nowhere to go, unfortunately. Let's go right on board Mike Corvo's car. Because Mike just came off of the pits, it looks like, according to our details here.
Mike. Oops. Looking at Nick. Here's Mike. Taking a look and see what happened as he gets in contact. Looks like he thought he blinked out, I think, and then...
Yeah.
Man, that's unfortunate. I think that's what happened, Steve. I think he blinked out a little bit, and he thought he went to the pits and got towed, and then all of a sudden just showed back up on the track. So,
yeah, that was definitely tough. Right now, riding aboard Donnie Honeycutt. Ooh. Oh, yeah, I think you're right. I think this is a wheel disconnection, because you can see the wheel just do a hard right. And you can also see the throttle being stuck right there too. So, I mean, if I had to guess, definitely a software, hardware issue of some sort. You can tell he's not even under control of his wheel. So, tough break. Hey, those things happen sometimes. Again, we talked about it before. Internet connectivity. That's the one unique thing about this versus the real thing, is that, hey, those things can happen. Hey, maybe it's a power strike. Maybe it's a storm. Maybe it's just faulty equipment. Who knows? But those things, unfortunately, can happen. And right now, caution number 3 for incident. We have had our caution for stage so far, so Third caution for incident, Emery, and lap 86.
Been a good race early on here. That's one of the, going back to that disconnect, that's one of the most frustrating things that can happen as an iRacer is when you have equipment fail like that. There's really nothing you can do, and you're seeing it firsthand of what can happen. And then also, man, I think Mike thinking that car got towed off and had some big contact. That's too bad as well. But this race will go on. Brandon 6 out front still. As we've got 86 laps down in the books. We're going to go back green flag racing here shortly. Pace car will come off, and we'll be green at Iowa. Hasn't disappointed so far, Steve. Love to see it. We love to see everybody here watching at Race Day Live at home on YouTube. Again, appreciate you guys being here. Make sure you like, sub, share it with friends and family.
Yeah,
These guys regroup. We're going to go green.
Yes, sir. I'm not going to lie. I like what Robert Hassong's doing right here, believe it or not. And I'm surprised he's the only one to do it. He came down, took 4 tires. Hey, if you're having a kind of a mid-tier day and you're running in 16th like he just was for the most part, not really in the top 10, hey, you know what? If you've got an extra set to spare and the race is kind of trending with light cautions, you know what? Maybe come down, take the 4 sets of tires, or take the 4 tires, and then on this stage, right before it ends here on lap 110, you have about 21 laps to go here under green that we'll have. Maybe get to the front, score some stage points, and get it done. So I like this move by Robert.
Yeah, a little different. Only one car, like you said. That is surprising that he's the only one going down and doing that move, but might pay out for him as he can stay out and try to get some points on the board. Right now, I think this pace car is going to jump off here, and we are going to go back to racing. Love to see this short track action at Iowa for a night race. Still got a long way to go here. Got to go to the 110 mark for stage 2, the end of stage 2, and then we'll go all the way to lap 200 to finish off this race, the OSF Healthcare 200. Man, been a lot of fun so far. Can't wait to see what these guys do. Brandon 6 and the 26 of Devin up there. Nick Biddy and the 32 coming out having a fantastic day. He's in your top 3. Pierce real now, he's up to 6th, and Frankie, who started from the back, he's up to 7th in that 48. Pace car's off. We're gonna go back green. As the flag waves, they're gonna cross. Brandon 6 on the inside again. Gonna take us into turn 1 and 2. Can he get the big jump that he's been doing all day long as they're side by side in the back? Clean start.
Yeah, really great restart so far. This race really clean overall. Right now, you're right, 3 wide, 2 wide everywhere on the track right now. Look at this. Roger Pierce threading the needle here between Nick Biddy. Kenny and Real made it work pretty well.
I'm surprised we haven't seen these early caution restarts. I don't think we've seen one of them yet, because this is the point in time where they are in side by side, 2 by 2, and 3 wide. That's where all the damage and the chaos can happen. But man, they're driving really good out here, being super patient, as all these restarts have been fairly clean. 91 laps down now. Brandon 6 still out front.
Yeah, really great effort right now by a lot of these guys. Again, a lot of drivers in the back having some issues, but these middle of the pack guys having a really good race. Josh Larson trying what he can to get back to the front. Daryl Young right here also, again, in that number 18, holding on to it. Solid effort. Ooh, Robert Hassong gets it to the grass. Man, what a save.
Unbelievable there. Looks like he did save it. He's trying to keep it together as he's going to fall all the way back. But hey, no caution, no harm, no foul. He's got a clean car up front. Look at this. Matt Fleming. He is now in 8th spot. He's up 6 positions right behind Frankie. Doing a really good job as well. He's in the top 10. Right in front of Josh Larson now.
Looking great. I'll tell you what, going back to Robert Hassong, just took tires right there. That might have helped him get some grip, getting back onto the track right there and not spinning it. So awesome job right there for Hassong. But you're right here, forcing a 3 wide. There's not many laps here to go in stage number 2. Just saw Matt Smith get checked up there a little bit. That's not good. has some front end damage. Big checkup right there, middle of the pack.
Look at these guys in the back of the pack just battling it. Man, 54 of Brandon sends it in the inside. He gets past there. Haven't talked a lot about him. He's sitting 15th, up 10 spots. I think this is where he's going to make the charge in that Toyota. Been pretty quiet all day long.
Yeah, I think it's got to be. I mean, right now, you want to set yourself up for stage 3. I think that's going to be the key factor here, Emery. You want to get to the front quickly, get the stage points, and then start up front in that clean air.
I think you're right. Jackson Anderson in that 83. He's in that Chevy. He's up to 10th now. He's up 13 spots. Going out and doing a pretty decent job. He's pretty confident on this track all week long. Let's see if he can keep the momentum going, as he is now in 9th. Just got past Matt Fleming.
Yeah, that's a super good run here for Jackson Anderson. I mean, obviously has, again, not necessarily the season that he's wanted to have, but again, he's learning. He's basically a rookie for all intents and purposes, and right now putting together a really strong effort on the inside here of Roger Pierce. And top 10 effort so far is definitely strong, but you have to wonder, hey, Roger Pierce, why is he back here? We saw him the whole first half of this race up front, top 3. Roger Pierce maybe struggling.
Yeah, another guy I was talking about that might be struggling as well is Daryl Young Jr. in the 18. He's in 17th now. He's in 18th position. He's down 11 spots. Unlike him to come out here and struggle a little bit like he has now, but hey, maybe he's just being patient. Maybe he's just hanging out in the back and to make his run late in this stage or late in this race. That number 18 of Daryl Young.
And I'll tell you what, though, that number 18, Daryl Young, has an amazing coach in his ear during these races. It's none other than Mark Whitley. We saw him back at the Indy Road Course. Again, last season, Season 4's champion. So Mark Whitley knows how to get this stuff done, and right now, having him in your ear this season is incredible. We talked about Daryl Young last week and how, hey, you know what? He's the kind of guy that will have kind of an average race, and then at the end of the race, finds himself in position to do really well. And last week was perfect. Finished P2. Late race, got some tires, two tires, and that was it. But hey, right now, the lead is changing. Devin Sprecher up front, and Josh Larson, again, where did he come from in P2?
Wow. 26, Larson up there in the mix. 6, oh my gosh, almost a little bit of contact on the inside of the 26. Brandon 6 on the outside trying to make it work, but now he's sitting dropping back to 3rd.
Hey, we've seen this. We've watched this movie before, Emery. Last season, don't forget, Josh Larson and Brandon 6 were the 2 drivers at the very end of the race. Larson with much newer tires, and Brandon 6 managed to hold off a hard-charging Larson at the very last lap, the last segment. I'll tell you what, Larson probably could have won that race if he used that chrome horn a bit, but decided not to. Obviously, much respect for that. And right now, he's making a hard-charging effort to that front. Josh Larson going to try and steal away this lead from Devin Sprecher, and does. Going to lead his first lap of the race.
Josh Larson up front now. Talked to him before the race. He said he was really comfortable with the track at Iowa, but he wanted to have those long runs. He felt like if he got the long runs, he could be out front saving those tires. And guess what? That's exactly what's happening. We got to go to the 110 mark, 103 laps down. Josh Larson's your new leader, way out front. Brandon 6 has dropped back to 4th. Devin in 2nd. Jackson Anderson now, he's up 20 spots in 3rd. Got a lot of new names up front, making this race a lot of fun to watch.
Man.
And see if Josh Larson can stay up there and keep it going.
3rd place for Jackson Anderson. Unbelievable job right there for him. But it just leads me to say, what happened? Donnie Honeycutt in the wall right here on the outside, back on track. Good to see that. But hey, I mean, Brandon 6 is falling off quite a bit. Looks like a lot of drivers maybe taking the fuel, taking the fresh tires early. We said it. Get to the front, get those stage points. Brandon 6. Oh,
Brandon 6.
Oh!
He got in some contact with the 54. His teammate of Brandon Bowie jumped back outside, saves it. Man, that's a situation where that could have ruined his race, but he's still out there, still alive. Falling back to now 6th spot, as Joseph Mealy in the 39 is going to be on the inside trying to make the pass.
I'll tell you what, Brandon 6 is in trouble. I'm not sure what's going on here for him. I'm not sure if it's a loose handling car or just a tight car. Tires maybe falling off, but right now, man, he is just having a hard time. Joseph Mealy going to get around him potentially here, but hey, don't let this distract you from the P1 driver right now of Josh Larson. Looking so good. Jackson Anderson again right here in P2. And Smucker in P3. Stage 2 concludes in 3 laps, Emery, and we might get a first-time stage winner here today. Looking really solid for Josh Larson and Jackson Anderson.
Yeah, these two drivers came from the back, started quite a ways back there, and now made their way through the front. Josh Larson up front in the number 51. Jackson Anderson coming out, making a statement, sitting second. And Tyler Honeycutt in that number 3, that Chevy, he's up 16 spots as well. He's in third. Brandon Bowie, haven't talked about him much. He's back there. He's making a charge. He started way in the back in that 54. Now he's in fourth. Man, it seems like this whole rotation, this whole lineup has flip-flopped. Maybe his strategy's coming into play and they're trying to figure out how to win this race. But man, nothing's changing up front with Josh Larson. He's looking really strong right now.
Yes, sir. Comes across the line right here. This is going to be your stage 2 winner, Josh Larson. Incredible job there for Josh Larson in the flagship motorsports team. Looking very good right there. Love to see that. Looking so good. Jackson Anderson obviously in P2 right here as well. Man, awesome job right here. Looking great. Tyler Honeycutt, P3. You said it. A lot of drivers. Man, where'd they come from? Devin Smucker, Kaufman finishing P6th. Brandon 6. Again, we'll talk to our pole sitter. I'm sorry, our stage 2 winner. I'll get it right eventually. Stage 2 winner, Josh Larson, here in just a second. We're going to go and thank our sponsors, and we'll come right back. All right, folks, we are back right now at the the end of stage number 2. Josh Larson going to be your stage 2 winner. Jackson Anderson in P2. A lot of different players here up front. What has happened? We are about to find out. We'll bring in Josh Larson here right now. We'll drag him on down here into the chat. Here he is, Josh Larson, out of nowhere right now, finishing P1 in stage number 2. Josh, man, you got me. Josh Larson, you got me. Uh-oh.
Trying to bring him in, I think. Josh,
I hear you.
He hears us now.
I got you.
Hey, man. Well, hey, P1, obviously stage number 2. Really solid job right there. Obviously, a stage win is obviously huge for a lot of reasons. But, man, how'd you do it? I mean, was it fuel? Was it tires? What happened there?
Nope. You guys gone. Hello?
Hello? Joshua?
Looks like we lost contact again with Josh.
Oh.
You can hear me. Josh, you got a copy. You can hear me.
Yes, sir.
Oh.
Josh, maybe it's just you, Steve. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Can you hear Steve?
Hello?
I cannot hear Steve.
Okay, he
Gone.
cannot hear you, Steve. But
All right.
while I got you in here, you are the stage 2 winner. Kind of some long runs. How'd you do it? Was it with some tire saving? You came from the back and made it all the way up to the front now and stage 2 win. So congratulations to that. But kind of talk us through it.
So kind of just hanging out with a bunch of guys in the middle of the pack, and we really wasn't going anywhere. So I went down, took 2 tires. I think a bunch of guys behind me actually took tires also. And first one of tires, first one of first.
Well, you made it look easy there for stage 2. You and Jackson, man. Jackson coming out getting that P2 on the end of stage 2. But congratulations on your stage 2 win, and hopefully you can keep this momentum going and win this race.
Yes, sir. Hopefully we can get this Murphy's Mechanical in victory lane tonight.
All right, congratulations and good luck, and we'll see you on the track.
Will do. Thanks.
That was Josh Larson of the 51, your stage 2 winner. Steve, stages are over. The next time we stop is going to be that checkered flag at the 200 mark. It's been a fun, entertaining race early in this race as we see some different names up front now as this race goes on. Pretty wild to see how everything's turned out to be this way. Brandon Bowie now is up front. Jackson's there. Tyler, Marshall Harris. Man, oh man, I'm not sure what to think of how the end of this race is going to happen.
Yeah, again, this is where it changes, right? I mean, there's different players up front. A lot of the guys have different strategies to get to the front. But stage 3 is a new race. 85 laps to go. What do you have for these drivers and for these leaders? It's going to be a lot of good times here. Cannot wait to see how this shakes up.
I will tell you, if you're out front, you got that clean air, I think you want to really make sure that you don't burn them up. And I know Brandon Bowie in that 54 knows how to do that. That number 12, Marshall Harris, coming out and just having a fantastic day. He's going to be on the outside as the pace car is off. We're going to go green here at Iowa. Green flags out for the OSF Healthcare 200 as Brandon Bowie and Marshall Harris going to take us into 1 and 2. Little contact in the back. 8's going to hit the wall. That's Robert Hassong in the wall, 3 wide. Unfortunate. He's back on the track.
Yes, sir. All kinds of stuff going on right now. Brandon Bowie going to be leading us off here for the beginning of stage 3. And Emery, you know what time it is. It's time to bring the noise here, sponsored by Harpoon Design. Let's get it.
Love it. Kenny Real, something happened to him. He's all the way back in 15th or 20th. Trying to bring the noise. It looks like a caution has just came out. Kenny Real may be involved on this one. Looks like he went off the track. Thomas Meeks as well there. We'll have to go back and take a look and see what happened. This is our 6th caution of the day. 4th caution, I believe. But man, oh man, unfortunate. We saw Robert Hassong get smashed and get the wall. And then we had some issues in the back here as we're going on board and take a look at what happened. Kenny Real. Oof.
Thomas Meeks, though, already involved right here at the beginning of that replay. So we'll go back a little further back and see what actually transpired here. But close racing, Emery. You said it.
Yeah, I think this final stage, they're all battling for position. So I think we'll see these restarts get a little more aggressive. It's maybe a situation of just getting a little bit loose or a checkup. Oh, 18 gets right in the back of the 55. Hey.
That's where it happens right there. Yeah, just a little bit of a touch by Daryl Young. You can tell didn't mean to do it, but unfortunately just a mismatch of speed potentially, and looks like that right there will be the case. So tough break. The yellow flag is out for our 5th time.
Hopefully Meeks can get that car fixed and come back on the track. I think he was having a day, just really staying in that middle of the pack and try to make a late move. But unfortunately, he's going to have to go into the pits and get that car fixed. As we're taking a look at him coming back onto the track, doesn't look like there's too much damage. That's Thomas Meeks in that Chevy.
Car doesn't look too bad, actually. Has some slight damage on, I believe, the rear, but really pretty good. I think he's going to be just fine. You know, fix that damage early on in the pit stops, and then I think he'll be good to go right now. But still up front, Brandon Bowie, keep in mind, has some right side damage. Had that wreck that he was involved with Nick Simpson earlier in the race. Got some pretty hard net code, and then kept it going. So he's right there, man. What's he got for this group?
Yeah, he's up front. I think he'll try to stay there as long as he can without trying to burn up those tires. We saw Brandon 6 doing it, and then obviously fell back. He's dropped all the way back to 6th. Jackson Anderson, he's up there in 2nd in that 83. Devin in the 26th, 3rd. Tyler Honeycutt, he's 4th. And Joseph Mealy, another driver coming out here having a day. He's in that Chevy, that 39 car. Love to see this, Steve. A lot of different names up front. Been a lot of different changes up front as well. The top 10, I mean, man, there's been so many cars flirting with the top 5, top 10, and then all of a sudden they drop back. We got some new names up here. It's been a good race at Iowa. It has not disappointed.
Oh yeah, it's been incredible right now so far. Lap 122, winding this thing down pretty quick. Right now, choose rule is going to be happening, so we're going to jump on board that. Tell you what, a lot can happen here. Still plenty of time to go to make some things happen, but to your point, I mean, a lot of names up front that aren't normally here, so what do they got? Can they compete?
I think they will, and I don't think this will be the last caution we see. I talked about it. I said, hey, late in this race, we're going to start seeing them get aggressive, and we're seeing it unfold now. I mean, Daryl Young had some contact with Meeks. That was a big shove from the back, but we'll see these drivers flirt with some 3 wide, side by side, trying to get that pass, as I think that top lane late in this race will be the key to trying to make it work and getting a win.
Yes, sir. And right now, Brandon Bowie going to choose the outside lane right here, so we'll see what he can do with that. Jackson Anderson going to be starting off right beside him in the inside lane, so a lot can still happen here early in stage number 3. These drivers will probably have to pit at least once, definitely once, for fuel in this stage. So, hey, when's it going to happen?
Yeah, if we get a green flag pit stop, that's going to be some chaos on this track. All those drivers coming in the pit, trying to get to their stall and get out, get some tires and a little bit of fuel and keep going, man. That will be fun to watch if that does happen. But, man, oh, man, it's going to be fun to watch this front group battle it out. Honeycutt in that 3, that black and blue Tar Heel car, that 26 car as well, looking on the outside, fantastic. But don't forget that 66, he's back there too. But right now we got a green flag coming up. Iowa 54 out front, he's on the outside lane. He's going to take us to 1 and 2.
Great job, Devin Smirker right here. Might make short work of Anderson here on the outside. What is he going to do?
Anderson's doing a good job staying on that inside. Now he's going to jump out. As Brandon Bowie's going to keep it there. Ooh, 83's in the wall. Some contact.
Oh, Nick Simpson. Big hit on the front stretch right here. Man, oh, man.
Oh.
Michael Lanfield also involved right here. Looks like it might have been very similar to what happened before. But man, Nick Simpson involved again into another incident.
Yeah, let's take another look at that, Steve. Nick Simpson, 3rd time in the incident, I believe. 2nd time for sure. Oh, he just got loose. Comes down. And look who's involved. Michael Lanfield. Unfortunate again. I swear it's the 3rd week in a row where he just somehow finds himself in this situation where he's got cars in front of him, side of him, getting out of control. But he did a good job there trying to slow it down and not too much damage. But Simpson, oof.
Yeah, we'll ride on board here, Nick Simpson, and just see what we can see here. We saw him earlier having some pretty not comfortable in the car. It looked like. We'll see what happens here. man. You're right, Emery. Just got loose.
Yeah, and you know, as it continues to happen, you definitely don't get more comfortable in the car. In fact, you get less comfortable, and you're just hard to come back from that. You don't know what your car's going to do. You obviously don't want to come out and cause another caution, but man, hopefully he gets it together, comes back out, and runs some green flags here. 127 is how many laps we've got down. We've got a ways to go at the end of this race. 200 is where we stop. Brandon Bowie out front. Anderson still in second. Restarts are going to get a little dicey as this race continues to unfold. Some guys like Barroso, he started in the back and he's found his way up front. Robert Hassong in that Ford in that number 8. Doing a great job. He's in the top 10 mark. He's up 18 spots.
Yeah, so Nick Simpson right here. This is going to be a second strike of the race. So if you're unfamiliar with how the ASRA works, they have a 3-strike rule basically for the in-race penalties. If you cause 1 strike, you get the EOL. 2 strikes is a drive-through, and then the 3rd strike is a parking. So right now on his 2nd strike, so under green flag conditions, he will have to use that drive-through, unfortunately. So we'll see Nick Simpson take that next time by, or next time green by. But yeah, to your point, Brandon Bowie still up front. A lot can change here. Right now, we're not choosing quite yet, so let's go and thank our sponsors. We'll come right back.
And we are back here at Iowa. Just had a caution unfold. But I'll tell you what, the end of this race is coming soon. 129 down. Got to go to the 200 mark, Steve. I'm telling you, this is what's going to happen, though. These guys are going to get more aggressive, trying to get through the pack to get a win.
Oh, yeah.
Or get at least a top 10 finish. And I don't think, I could be wrong, I don't think that's our last caution. We'll see. But love to see a long run unfold here as they're choosing right now. Top, bottom, or bottom lane. Where do you want to be at right now in this race? Do you want to start at the top line, or do you want to still stick with that inside?
I'll tell you, honestly, it depends. I mean, for me, you know, if I'm in the car, I'm going to want to be where my car's been feeling, you know, good, you know, the longest part of this race so far. Right now, we've seen some decently long green flag runs, not a full, you know, pit stop, you know, run, but overall pretty solid, you know, overall. So for me, I mean, I'm going to want to be, you know, again, somewhere where I can hold on to my tires still, which is probably the inside lane. You know, that way you can, at the very least, you know, if this thing does go green, then you're holding on to your tires, and if a yellow comes out, then hey, you know what, you probably still have that 1 set of tires left, and a lot can happen, but not much changing up front. Brandon Bowie still up front, Jackson Anderson P2. Tell you what, I'm starting to kind of get that feeling, Emery. Who's your pick? I mean, right now, I'm starting to think maybe we get a first-time winner. I don't know. I think the magic's in the air tonight.
It's hard for me to say. I'll say one driver that I think these short little runs are killing him. It's Josh Larson, the 51. I think if we can get a long run again, I think Josh Larson will be up there to try to get a win and steal this. But we'll see what happens as the pace car's off. Brandon Bowie is going to be on the outside, going to take us in the 1 and 2. We are green flag again here at Iowa. Anderson in the 83s right there. Looks like he got a good jump in front of the 26. Joseph Mealy right there. Brandon 6th and 5th. He's still back there, going to fight up front. 131 laps down. We got a show here, Steve.
We sure do. Right now, a lot of laps left to go. Under 70 laps. And Jackson Anderson holding on to it right now. Up in the outside lane. It is faster, but it'll burn those tires off quickly.
Yeah, you also got the 26 right on that outside with Jackson. He's in that Ford. making it work. Brandon 6 is right behind him.
Yeah, I can promise you, this is not where Brandon 6 wants to be. I know he's only in P5, and he's got the speed, but man, you got to get through this traffic.
At number 3 of Tyler Honeycutt, right behind Brandon 6, kind of just watching them battle it out. I think he wants to be patient here. He's right in that mix. He's in that 6th position. He can make a late move. Frankie Barroso's right behind him. We haven't talked about him a whole lot. He's up 19 spots. He's sitting 7th. I think he's being patient.
Absolutely, you know he is for sure. Further on back, a lot of action going on. Kenny Reel, Josh Larson, we've talked about these two quite a bit. Trying to make their runs back up front. Larson, that stage 2 winner. What does he have for this field on a long green flag run?
I think he can make it work, but he's got to go through the traffic. He's got to get past Anthony. He's got to get past Kenny. Marshall Harris is right there. Matt Smith's right up front. I think he's got the fastest car, or the faster car. But he's going to get held up just a few. He doesn't have a whole lot of time in this race to make it up front, as he's got a long ways to go to try to track down Joseph Mealy and Brandon Bowie as they battle out front now. Joseph Mealy trying to get a pass. He's on the inside. Little bit of blinking there as Brandon 6 is going to take his line as well on the inside to try to get past Brandon. Joseph Mealy out front. He's your new leader as it sits. He's in that Chevy. Brandon Bowie going to get pushed on the outside in the 54. 6 now is on the inside. He's 2nd.
Devin Smecker still trying to go forward here. Jackson Anderson going back a little bit, but right now Joseph Mealy to the front, leading some laps here. Looking good, but right now, right behind him, Brandon 6. Can Mealy hold him off?
Watch out for him. 3 gets a little bit loose in the back here, looking like they're almost 3 wide. 15 of DJ Honeycutt. 3's going to go the inside, drops a few spots. Caution is out. Let's take a look and see what happened. And it looks like Robert Hassong is going to be turned on the backstretch.
Man, that was a hard hit too. The whole front end is just beat up. Hate to see that. Let's go back and take a look, man. Ouch.
Contact there in the back and sends him. Ooh. That might have been one of the hardest wrecks we've seen all season. Inside wall. That car more than likely is done for the day. As you see some major damage.
Let's watch it here in real time. So here's the front stretch. Right behind him, Anthony Williams. His song comes down to turn 1. Might get loose right here a little bit. Yeah, you can see it.
Oh. Yeah, it looks like, sounds like Robert Hassong just got a little bit loose, sorry. And the car behind him gave him a little bit of push, and he went into the wall. Frustrating day for him, because I think that will be the end of his day. Robert Hassong. Caution number 8. But hopefully he can get back out there, Steve.
Yeah, that's tough for his song. Obviously tried earlier some strategy, taking some tires and whatnot, but it's going to be out of this race. Hate to see that for sure, but either way, right now, a bunch of drivers out. As you're going to see on your screen here, right now looks like at least 3 or 4 drivers out. Donnie Honeycutt 14 laps down, so he's just trying to maintain some spots there to gain some points. Nick Simpson obviously had to serve that drive-through penalty, so there is that. But hey, right now, still, Joseph Mealy can lead some extra laps here. Devin Smecker up front. But hey, you saw it. Brandon 6, Brandon Bowie just pit right there as we were reviewing that caution. Frankie Barroso taking those tires. So a fresh set of tires, potentially even maybe 2 tires. What do these guys have here? Nobody else pit, which is interesting to me, Emery, because I'm pretty sure these guys got to come down pit road for some fuel at some point. So what do they have here in the tank?
Yeah, I think the whole Bowie Esports team went in and got some fresh tires, got some fuel. I don't think it's a bad call, but Joseph Mealy up front, he's got to figure out when he's going to come in and pit if we do have a green flag pit stop. But a little bit of strategy play there. See if it pays off for the Bowie Esports team, as Brandon 6 now falls all the way back to 13th. Brandon Bowie's in 14th, and Frankie is in 15th.
Yes, sir. Well, right now, Joseph Mealy, let's actually, you know what? We have time. Let's try and bring him in here. Joseph Mealy, the current leader of this race. See if we can figure out what kind of strategy he's thinking about right now. Let's try it. Let's try and track him down. Hey, Joseph Mealy, it's Steve here in the booth, man. You got me?
Yes, sir. What's going on?
What's going on, man? Hey, leading the race, obviously looking pretty good. Caution flag came out, and you're still in that P1, going to be choosing right here. So, hey, I mean, a lot of guys right there took some tires, took some fuel, I would assume. What's the strat right here? Can you make it the rest of the way? How are you going to win this race?
The strat's just to keep going, I guess. I don't really know what we're going to do next. I just knew I didn't want to be in the nest. I've worked all night to get out front. I'd like to stay here as long as I can, and just keep playing it as the cautions fall or they don't. And, we'll be there one way or another. So it's been a good night overall. I'm having fun, and try and close it out for everybody.
Hey, love that, dude. Congrats again. Leading some laps, leading the race. Good luck rest of the way, man.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Thank you.
I love that strategy. He's just trying to stay alive, just keep it going. I think he feels pretty comfortable in that car right now, and confident that he can keep these laps rolling as he's sitting up front in that 39.
I mean, honestly, Emre, it's not a bad call to have. I mean, because it's you know, ultimately, will this work for a Brandon 6 or for a Brandon Bowie? Probably, if it stays green. But like Mealy said, now you're back in the mid pack. You're in the nest, right? You're that might be trouble for them. Joseph Mealy, I like the strategy of, hey, you know what? No matter what happens, I'm going to stay up front, and that right there. That might be all it takes to get that first win, so we'll see.
Yeah, it's nothing like having a driver just letting the race come to them, and that's fun to watch some of these guys let that happen as the pace car is off. Let's see if Joseph can stay up front. Green flag out at Iowa. He's going to take us into turn 1 and 2. He's got Devin in that 26 right behind him. As these two battle, 144 laps down. We got to go to the 200 mark. Nick Bidding at 32 as well. Up front, 15 of DJ. Jamie Graham in the 87. He's in 5th. He's up 7 spots having today. He's working the inside lane.
Yeah, great runs for a lot of guys right now. We're seeing it too. Josh Larson still back up, getting back to the front. Your stage 2 winner back in P8. Right behind him, Brandon 6. So, hey, if you're Brandon 6 or any of these guys behind him, your time to go is now. You cannot hold back. These 55 laps to go will happen pretty quick.
Yeah, and with these 2 little cautions we just had, I think these drivers will calm down, and I think we'll see some long runs at the end of this race. We got a ways to go, but I think we'll see this happen. If that does happen, that 51 of Josh Larson, the Chevy, he'll be really happy because he's strong in this car with these long runs at Iowa. We saw it happen, unfold in stage 2 when he got that win. Steve, one driver we haven't talked about for a little bit is Thomas Meeks in the 55. He's back out there in that Chevy. He's up 11 spots. He's in 10th position. He's flirting right there to get a top 10, top 5, maybe a win finish here at Iowa today. He's running out of time, 147 laps down. See if he can pull it together and make that happen.
Yeah, and he was involved in a wreck too, keep in mind. And right now, I mean, didn't have a lot of damage there. But yeah, to your point, a top 10 spot right here. Very solid effort as we're seeing 3 wide right here. Matthew Fleming, the meat and the sandwich. What can they do? Teammates right here. Oh boy. Tough. Close battle.
87 and the 88. Banging on some doors there, but they got through clean. We're still green. Man, 51's making a big run. He's up to 7th position. Matt Fleming right there as well. Fantastic driving so far. This is where it all counts, Steve. They're leaving it all on the line to try to get that win, try to score some points. Every point counts. Every point matters. The playoff run. We are halfway through the regular season. These tracks don't get easier.
And keep in mind, too, P3 is still Nick Biddy. This is no fluke, folks. This is, you know, this isn't Nick Biddy having fresh tires. This is just pure speed right here in that third spot. Looking really, really good. But right now in P4, Brandon 6, he's getting through the field pretty quick. What does he have for these drivers? He's got to get to the front. A long green flag run might change things up, but looking pretty good.
Absolutely. And Nick Biddy, he's got space in front of him. He's got space behind him. He just needs to run his line. If you go on board and take a look at him driving, I'm sure he's as smooth as he's ever been all race long. As Nick Biddy's coming out here putting on a show. Looking back farther in the field here. 55 of Thomas Minks, that number 3 car of Tyler Honeycutt. Side-by-side action.
A lot of battles going on right here. These are all for top 10 spots.
One driver that really has to make a move. Both teammates, actually, in fact, Frankie Barroso and Brandon Bowie, they've got to navigate their way through this field. They've got a lot of traffic they've got to handle. They're running out of time. 53 laps down, 153 laps down now. Got to go to the 200. So let's see if they can make that happen without burning the tires up, Steve. That's key right now.
Yeah, that's the case. I mean, fuel aside, tires, you have to hold on to them. And right now, that's the big, big thing. Josh Larson already gaining some more spots right now into that 6th, 7th position. Long run car. That's all it takes. As we see Nick Biddy about to get past here by Brandon 6 here for top 3 spot. Getting back to the front.
Brandon 6 on a charge. One driver that knows how to save those tires. 32 is going to drop now down below. He says not quite. Oh, real close there. 32 let off the gas. Let Brandon 6 by. That was a smart move as Nick Biddy is still in the top 5 position and letting Brandon 6 take off there. He's got to track down Devin, and now we do have a yellow flag out. And DJ Honeycutt gets involved, and I think it's a situation where he may have come up or came down and got some contact, and that's going to spin him. Oh, man, DJ Honeycutt in that number 15.
Man, tough break. DJ's been doing so well lately, and right now was having a great race. Take a look back and see what we can see. Oh, man, Larson just kind of clobbers him right here. Not sure what maybe was the reason for that, but man, tough break for DJ. Let's go back a little further and see if we can ride on board of Larson, see what might have happened here.
We're taking a look on board shot of Josh Larson. Got involved here. Looks like he got a pretty good run. Gonna take the outside lane when he comes out of the turn. I think the 15 car just came up. A little bit of a racing incident. I know he had one car on the outside of him, and it looks like the 15 may have just came up and hit the front left nose of Josh Larson. Well, another caution there, Steve, but man, just aggressive racing today, and I know we see it. I know we see it at Iowa, and it's unfolding now. So they are in the pits. We're gonna get some tires, get some fuel, come back out there. That really changes a lot of strategy for some of these racers. What about the drivers like the Bowie Esport team that went in early to the pits to get some tires? Does that change for them as now they're seeing cautions unfold?
Yeah, it kind of does. So right now, obviously, everybody coming down pit road who didn't pit a little earlier. And so now everyone's going to be good to go on fuel. That's the good news about this. And the ones that are pitting now, yeah, they have that extra, 10, maybe 15 laps extra on tires. So that will definitely play a role. But man, I'll tell you what, Brandon 6, Frankie Barroso, Brandon Bowie, this was the call. I mean, they wanted to survive. They pit earlier, you know, and if one of these three end up going on to win this race, you can thank that strategy right there, and the whole field will be able to see that. and maybe implement that for future races. But right now, it's going to be tough. Fresher tires are behind them. But what kind of race will we see? Green flag runs or short runs?
Yeah, that's going to be the key, and that's going to be the goal. I think right now, Six and Frankie and Brandon just want to stay alive and stay up front as they are now. That strategy has paid off for them. But, man, Josh Larson in the 51, he's dropped all the way back to 16th now. Now he has to make another run late in this race. Can he make it through the field? Jackson Anderson, he's in 10th. He's still up 13 spots, having a day. He's got to be happy with a top 10 right now as it stands. Tyler Honeycutt as well in that number 3. He's 12 spots up, sitting right there in 7th position.
Yes, sir.
So, Steve, it is all unfolding. Everything is happening now late in this race as it's coming to an end. We can exactly tell and see what is happening with each strategy and what driver is going to do and see how he finishes. Fun to watch here at Iowa. Very interesting to see all this unfold right now.
Yes, sir. And right now, keep in mind, too, right behind Bowie is the Chrome Goose team of Daryl Young and then Roger Pierce. So they're also kind of following along this strategy. We saw these two having some issues earlier, back in the pack, mid-pack. But right now, when you put the money on the table, right here, they're in 4th and 5th. So this is going to matter for sure. They have the freshest tires, the freshest, full of fuel, right? So this is going to matter in this long run. So what do they have to get to the end? We talked about Daryl earlier, man. He always just finds a way to get to that front. And here he is.
I was just going to talk about that, Steve, man. 18, Daryl Young, just sneaky. He's been hanging back all race, and now he finds himself up here in the top 5 position, going to battle it out, try to get a win. Same with Roger Pierce. I mean, all these guys are just letting the race come to them. Kenny Real now's up in 6th. So many names, so many drivers. Was action at Iowa. I cannot wait to watch this as they now are going to figure out what lane they're going to choose, the top or bottom line.
Keep in mind,
cars out.
40 laps to go, Emery. It's still a long time to go. And, if this thing goes green the whole rest of the way, that's enough time for those new tires to make a pretty big difference. So we'll see what these drivers have to offer here today.
Yeah, I was wrong when I said that I thought that race would go green, but now we see a caution. It really changes everything for these guys, and I keep saying that, but it really does. I mean, 6 is on a different tire setup, and Frankie and Brandon Bowie up front there, their strategy is completely different than Pierce and Real and those guys out back. So it's just going to be fun to see how these guys let the race come to them and see if how the tire wear happens. But Brandon 6 and Frankie Barroso, that 1 and 2. Lights are off the pace car. Wouldn't go back. Green flag racing as we kind of got a shootout at the end.
Yes, sir, we do. Speaking of shootout, tell you what, next week, little preview. Going to be a lot of fun next week. We're going to go to Twin Ring Motegi. We're going across the pond to Japan. Going to go on that oval right there. Going to be a lot of fun. Big wide track. Big long one too. Going to be a lot of fun there. So stay tuned for the ASRA Cup Series next Tuesday at this time for some fun over there. But right now, we have a race to decide here in Iowa. What do we got?
We're about to see it. Pace lights are off the car. Lights are off the pace car. We're going to go back. Green flag racing. Brandon 6 up front. Frankie in the 48. He's in 2nd. 2 teammates. Going to take us into turn 1 and 2. Brandon got a huge jump out front. Let's see if he can stay out there side by side in the back, though.
Again, all about those tires right now. We're already starting to see it. Daryl Young on the inside. Brandon Bowie way up high right here. What does Daryl Young have for these drivers, these Bowie team?
And I think Daryl Young really put himself in the right position as now he's trying to get by Frankie. He did get by Brandon Bowie in the 54. 27's a little loose back there. He keeps it together. That's Roger Pierce. He's going to lose a ton of spots.
Bunch of cars right here in the back of the pack, bouncing off the walls. Mealy a little bit. We saw Marshall get into the wall right there a second ago. About to be 4 wide here at Iowa.
Oh, 3 wide. Steve at Iowa is a little scary. 32 on the inside. That 83 of Jackson there. Pretty good driving. They kept it. Jamie Graham back there in the 87. He's trying to make it up through the pack. So much traffic here. Oh, 32. A little bit of checkup. 26 does a good job going down low, avoiding that as he brings it 3 wide right here. Now 4 wide almost. Unbelievable, Steve.
But he got so loose right there. Right now, Jimmy Graham on the inside. Trying that middle line, can't quite make it work. Man, he was really, really loose. A couple of these drivers. Back up front, Daryl Young. Back in P4. So far, those tires aren't really proving their worth. But it's still early in this green flag run.
Yeah, that battle back there with the 32, Devin, Graham. It's a wild one, and one driver that's probably not too happy about it, and that's Larson. He's now back in 18th spot, just can't get his way up there and make the move as he's super loose. Man, 3 wide again, Steve. I haven't seen so much 3 wide driving here in Iowa in a long time. These guys are kind of trying to make it look easy out here when it's not. Not the preferred method, but they're making it work. 167 laps down. We're coming to an end.
It is definitely wild for sure.
54 in the grass. Brandon Bowie way inside. Keeps it on the track now. He's going to lose a bunch of spots.
Not good. Just lost the traction. Looks like Jamie Graham off the mark right here. Slows it down. Keeps it going into the turn. Very heads-up play right there for him. Does not overcorrect into entering turn 3. Smart move. But up front, Brandon 6 setting off Frankie Barroso. Kenny Reel in P3. Awesome job.
Yeah, Kenny Reel, that number 11, the Chevy. Just doing a really good job letting the race come to him as well. In that Jordan car.
$30 laps remaining here today for the OSF Healthcare 200. We are winding this thing down. The tires have come to a big play. Pit strategy overall. Right now looking like Brandon 6. Frankie Barroso are going to be the winners, at least of the strategy war so far, but it's still early. A lot can happen.
Brandon 6 out there, way out there. One driver that can save the tires. He's just kind of on an island by himself. He's just got to keep it smooth, and he can also go back-to-back wins again. Huge win for him if he can make it happen here at Iowa. But still a lot of race left, Steve. Matt Smith, Matt Fleming, Roger Pierce, all right here trying to paddle, get to the top 10. Michael Lamphere does make his way into the top 10. He's in that Ford. He started 10th. See if he can make some movement. That number 3 outside, Tyler Honeycutt in the Tar Heel car. Been running that outside lane the whole time. 29, and Matt Smith touches the wall back there. He slows everybody down a little bit. 3 wide again. Matt Fleming on the inside. The 27 is going to try to make the charge behind him. Now they're 2 wide. Side-by-side action. 173 laps down.
Yeah, a lot going on here. Oh, Lamphere gets a real loose out of turn 4. Keeps it going.
Ooh, 29 checks up. Meeks in the 27. They're going to wreck.
Pierce holds onto it. Great effort by Roger Pierce.
Unbelievable there.
Maintains green flag conditions. Right here, Kenny Reel right now in P3, P4. Joseph Mealy, we saw him leading earlier. Took those fresh tires just a second ago, and right now holding on to that 4th place. Daryl Young, a top 5 effort. Looking strong right now with 25 laps to go.
Can make that happen. Nick Biddy, I know he's going to try to work his way all the way to the end of this race and get that top 5 finish. He's got to get past Daryl Young in the Chevy. Joseph Mealy, he's in 4th. Kenny Reel still in 3rd. And nothing's changed up front there with Brandon 6 and Frankie. You're 1 and 2. Bowie Esport drivers. Strategy is paying off for them very nicely right now. with only 24 to go at Iowa. Can they keep it together?
Really, really good job so far. Right now, we are winding down. Daryl Young going to try and get around Nick Biddy here for a top 5. Actually, Nick Biddy making a pass around him. Daryl Young struggling a little bit on the inside lane.
Just talked about him. Nick Biddy in 32. He does now get in the top 5, but you're right. Daryl Young falling back a little bit. Did he burn some tires up as he's not able to keep up? He's running that inside lane, but falling back spots. Now he drops all the way back to 8th position. Nick Biddy at 32 is in 5th. He's got to track down Kenny Reel in that 11 car. Joseph Mealy all by himself between the Bowie Esports team. He's in that 39, sitting 3rd. He's out here having a day, being consistent all race long. Finds himself in this top 5, top 3 podium. Can he make it work? 21 laps to go. Iowa for the OSF Healthcare 200.
And he's
a fun race.
And he's quick too. Right now, he is definitely tracking down Frankie Barroso a little bit. So it looks like we're seeing Mealy catching Frankie just incrementally. Again, if this thing stays green, that might change for a lot. If we see a yellow at the same time, do we see anybody come down for those fresh tires and make it a sprint at the end? We'll see. Right now, Frankie Barroso holding on to that P2 pretty strong. Thomas Meeks, after all of his struggles today, is right now in P11, trying to look on the inside of Matthew Smith, Season 1 champion, trying to get down low and get into that top 10 positioning. Man, really, really close.
Meeks. Yeah, he got in some trouble early on, fell all the way back, but done a really good job to come back here to 11th spot, trying to get past Matt Smith. You just said that, get in the top 10. Love to see Thomas Meeks come out here and have a race. And as I say that, Thomas gets hit by the 29. He keeps it together. 29 just got loose. That's Matt Smith.
Man, good job, though, by both of them keeping it together and keeping it straight. Great car control there for those two drivers.
That looks a lot easier said than done up here in the booth. I mean, I know how hard that is to keep control of that car, and you're right. They're doing a really good job. We've had multiple incidents where drivers are getting in some major contact, and these guys just figure out a way to stay on the track and not cause a caution. As now the race, 16 to go in this race, not too much time for any of these drivers to make a move.
Hey, one guy, too, we haven't talked much about, but James Kaufman right here in that 25. He had great stage points in stage 2. I believe finished 3rd to 4th. And right now, holding on to a top 13 if he can. Having a great effort there in that Kaufman Farms number 25. Love to see it.
Yeah, we haven't talked a whole lot about James Kaufman. He's up 2 spots from when he started. Sitting 13th in the Chevy. Love that kind of that old school look paint scheme. Red, white, yellow. He's got some flames on the side. He's out here having a day. Been consistent. No issues for him. Hopefully he can get a top 10 finish, Steve.
Yes, sir, but right now this is heating up. Look at this battle here for P2. Brandon 6 about 3.5 seconds out front, but right now a lot of drivers under one blanket here to get into that top 5 and even podium spots. What do they have for Frankie here?
And I don't know. You're right. This 3 spot all the way down to 7th with Frankie is just tight. There's got some traffic to get through. It's going to be a lot of racing going on. This is going to be the battle. Any of these drivers right now can get that podium. They're looking for that 2-3 spot. If Brandon 6 continues to do what he does, no one's going to catch him. Frankie is the one to beat right now.
Mealy is trying what he can right here. Man, it's so close, but Nick Biddy also on the outside. riding on board Nick Biddy. Let's take a look at this battle from his view. Pretty tight, Emery.
It's very tight as they're working. He's working that outside lane. Frankie up front, trying to do everything he can to hold off Joseph Mealy, and Mealy on the outside is going to get the pass. Does it stay true? Looks like Frankie's got a little bit of run on the inside. But man, oh man, side by side, Matt Fleming back there too. 32 of Nick Biddy, 39 of Joseph Mealy. Quite the race. Don't forget about Devin in that 26. He's in that Ford back there.
Yeah, we saw Frankie get loose a little bit through Biddy's windshield, but right now we're going to still hold on to it. Mealy trying the outside lane. He gets a great run on the outside. Fleming here on the inside. What does he have?
Matt Fleming trying to send it inside 3 wide. Doesn't work. He has to lay back. Now we're inside. 10 to go. 9. In fact, 9 to go as they cross. Frankie's still out front. Frankie's got to be careful burning those tires up to keep these guys behind him. As 88, Matt Fleming's looking pretty strong around the inside lane. He's really diving that car into the corners.
Yeah, and right now for Brandon 6, I mean, he has just set sail right now. 8 laps to go, 7 laps to go this time by. In 3.5 seconds gap. He loves seeing this right here in his rearview mirror.
Brandon 6 almost now close to 4 seconds getting there. No one's going to catch him. Frankie doing everything he can to stay in that second position. Now Matt Fleming gets past Joseph Mealy to 39. He's sitting third.
Man.
Action packed here at Iowa. Late in this race, 7 to go, Steve.
Fleming just kind of made that stick right there. He made it work on the inside again. What can he do here? Try and get that P2 out of Frankie Barroso's hands. Might clear him here off of 2.
I think he likes that inside lane. He's been sticking with it the last 5 laps, and it's making it work as now he's passed Frankie up front. Can he hold him off? Let's see how Matt Fleming runs this line with Frankie on his tail. Joseph Mealy now getting a quick little run in that 39 as well, trying to get past Frankie.
Not a whole lot of action on track right now. The track is pretty quiet, but right now, this spot, Matthew Fleming ends up winning that little battle right there. He is 3 seconds away from Brandon 6. Man, he is faster. You can see it. That time is going down pretty quick, but can he catch him in 5 laps?
5 laps, Steve, and you're right. That 88 car is moving. Now the gap only sits at 2.5, 2.5 seconds. Can Brandon 6 hold off with old tires? Matt Fleming, the 88, is going to make these long, big runs. Let's see what he can do. Frankie's now in third. Devin, Joseph Mealy, all battling for the next position. Watch out for Kenny Real, Steve. Looks like he's caught up. He's running the inside. He's going to try to get past Joseph and Nick.
Yes, sir. This is not over yet. For a top 5, all these points matter at the end of the season. But man,
3 to go, Steve.
Fleming is so
Fleming
quick.
has now cut that gap at 2 seconds, Steve.
Just not gonna have enough time. Needs a yellow right here to re-rack the field, and that might help his situation. But just not gonna quite get there. But so fast. Two
Man,
laps
what a battle
to go.
back here. Unbelievable. 2 laps to go. No one's gonna catch Brandon 6. I think that's gonna be in the bag. Matt Fleming coming up 12 spots in the 88. If everything stays true there, he's gonna get a 2nd place finish. Frankie, can he hold on to get a podium in the top 3?
The final lap is here. This is sponsored by Sim Motion. Go check them out everywhere you buy iRacing products. But Brandon 6 going to come around turn 3 and 4. He is going to be your winner today for the OSF Healthcare 200.
Congratulations to Brandon 6. Matt Fleming there in the 88. He's going to get second place. What a run by him. And Frankie Barroso in the 48. He's going to finish third. Top three right there. Devin, the 26. He's fourth. Nick Biddy, 32. He's going to finish fifth. And that's your top five. Kenny finished with a sixth position right out of the top five. Congratulations again to Brandon 6. He got another win, Steve.
I'll tell you what, it was close though. Matthew Fleming needed probably 2 or 3, maybe 4 laps, and that would have been it. But right there, long green flag runs and fresh tires. That's what it matters. But hey, we talked about it. Brandon 6 pitting early, along with his teammates. That was the deal breaker. Anybody else could have done that, and unfortunately they didn't. And right now, Brandon 6 wins again here at Iowa.
Strategy pays off, and Brandon 6 gets another win halfway through the season with a big lead in points. He is out here making a statement. Congratulations to him again. Matt Fleming, also 88 in that P2 spot. Frankie Barroso is in third. Matt
Yes,
Smith
sir.
and Frankie look on. Brandon 6 do his burnouts. And we're going to get these drivers in here, Steve, and have a word with them as this race has ended
Yes,
at
sir.
Iowa. I think we're going to bring in Frankie, Steve.
Well, first we're going to go thank our sponsors. Want to go and say hi to them real quick before everyone starts to leave. We'll come right back.
And we are back here at Iowa. We're looking at the number 66. He got the win here. Also taking a look at Frankie in the 48, finishing third. We are going to bring in our drivers and have a word with them. Steve, are we going to bring in Frankie in that P3? Frankie, you got a copy? I think he's here.
Yeah, I got a copy.
Hey, congratulations on another podium today. Frankie there in Miami got a top 3 finish. And love to see that. Saw you and Brandon 6 pit early on in the race. Seemed like that really paid off, especially for Brandon 6. But hey, you're up here as well. What were your thoughts there?
Yeah, we just tried to employ some strategy. It kind of didn't go our way. We were a little more defensive minded, I guess. But you know, it was fine. It was a lot of fun trying to hold off those guys. They had about like 15 lap newer tires or something like that. So it was a good time for sure. So yeah, I'm just glad I got the P3, and thankfully the storm didn't kick me out basically.
Absolutely, yeah. You were holding off Joseph Mealy, Kenny Reel, Nick Beatty back there, and you did a really good job fighting those guys off. And you got that P3 finish. You got a podium, got some points on the board for the playoffs, and congratulations, man. We will see you next week.
Yeah, man. See y'all next week. Or what?
Right,
Actually, no. Sorry, I won't be here next week.
Frankie will be out next week. Well, we'll see you the following week then.
Yeah, I'll see y'all in 2 weeks.
All right, we'll see you then. That's Frankie in the 48. He finishes third here at Iowa. And next, we're going to bring in the number 88 of Matt Fleming. He came out here strong and had one hell of a day. Matt Fleming, 88, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, congratulations on a P2. You were consistent all day long, and at the end of the race, you were right there in the hunt. Obviously, couldn't track down Brandon 6, but man, you got to be happy with a number P2 finish. Congratulations. What are your thoughts? How'd you get there?
Man, I tell you what, that first stage, that absolutely sucked. The tires on my car were just horrible. There's no other way to explain that one. So I got loose underneath somebody, and I fell all the way back because I was damn near last. So it was just kind of uphill battle, and I was stuck at like 12th. I couldn't get around anybody, and then when I did, there was always faster, fresh tires behind me. it's always kind of managed to be 12th. Just that last pit stop, because in the one caution before, the guys up front there, they already pitted. So I just hit the next one and saved just a little bit of tire. Looks like I saved just a little bit too much because I needed just a little bit more time. But Frankie did a pretty good job holding everybody up there for 6, which I don't blame him. It is what it is, but I'm pretty happy to be able to battle back up, bring the 88 Chevy back up to P2. So.
Yeah, I'd love to see you up here, and you were doing such a great job running that inside lane, really sending it in there, and you got past all those guys to get that P2 finish. Before you take off, make sure you thank your sponsors, and then we'll see you next week.
Yes, sir. First, I want to shout out to my family, wife, and kids. They always give me time to do this. Yeah, I love them to death there. So, and then I want to shout out to Flagship, all of our guys. We got a great group. Hopefully we can pull some more of these podiums back off. But I want to shout out to Flem Dogs Auto Repair, Wheels America, MB Roofing, and Murphy's Mechanical, and of course Harpoon Designs, as they are the ones that make all of our paint schemes. Do an amazing job. So I want to thank them for sure, and thank you guys up there in the broadcast booth. I know you guys always do a great job. So.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations. We'll see you next week. That's the number 88, Matt Fleming, finishing second here at Iowa. Came out and had a great day and a good finish for him. Love to see it. And we're going to bring in Brandon 6, our winner of Iowa, the OSF Healthcare 200. Brandon 6 will be joining us. Brandon, you got a copy?
Yeah, how's it going, fellas?
Good, man. Brandon 6, out front. You made a strategy call. Stage 2. Kind of talk to us about that. You pitted early, it seemed like, which actually paid off, and you got the win here at Iowa.
Yeah, obviously once we got into that last stage, it allowed for different strategies to play out, and especially with all the different cautions that we were having. I kind of pitted early there, but only just because I had 2 sets of tires left, and I was like, we're kind of within fuel range. We kind of maybe just had to save a little bit. If he had a caution, it would have helped. So I came down, took my 1 set, filled it up, and then I knew I was good to go for the rest of the race in case it did stay green. But we had that one other caution where I think Devin, who was fast, Matt, some of the fast guys ended up pitting, took their other set, and I was kind of a little nervous because I wasn't sure how far back it pushed them, but luckily they were far enough back in the field, and it took them just a little bit too long to get up through there and run me down because I was starting to get really tight there at the end. Matt was catching me pretty quick. I would say another 5 or 6 laps and he would have had me for sure.
Yeah, man, it seems like you're out here making all the right calls. Matt Fleming, you were saying it. He was on your tail. I think if we had another 3 or 4 laps, he would have caught you. But, hey, everything worked out the way it should have for you. You got the win here at Iowa. Do you want to thank your sponsor before you get out of here?
Yeah, for sure. I want to thank Battle Beaver, Bowie Esports, obviously Steve for putting on this league, and you guys for putting on this amazing broadcast.
Absolutely. 66 with another win at Iowa. See if he can do it next week. Congratulations to him. Man, oh man. Fantastic race. I'm not sure. I'm kind of speechless on how this all ended, how it finished. A lot of cautions, a lot of action, a lot of different changes of the leader. I mean, top 10 looks completely different than what it did in stage 1. It was a fun race, Steve, here at a little short track action.
I'll tell you what, it's an incredible race, obviously. Iowa always proves to be fun. I mean, last season it was the same thing, and today it does the same thing for us. And obviously Brandon's 6th with another win, but hey, that's just dominance right there. He's the mark. You have to catch him to try and beat him right there. And right now, Matthew Fleming got pretty close. Just couldn't quite get there at the end. I'll tell you what, he is going to be tough to beat this season, and obviously looking really, really good right now. But hey, that's how it goes today. Short track racing, we love it. We teased it earlier, but hey, next weekend, right, we're going across the pond to Japan, the Twin Rig Motegi. That's going to be a lot of fun. That oval track is really, really cool and kind of untamed ground for a lot of these cars. So we'll see how they do there. Nice big track, wide open. Should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun track to be on. Let's watch these drivers perform there. Kind of unique situation to have that track on the schedule. But man, oh man, Iowa did not disappoint. Brandon 6 with the win. Matt Fleming, he got second. Frankie third in that 48. We want to thank everybody at Race Day Live tuning in and watching every Tuesday night. We appreciate you being here. I want to thank all of our sponsors, especially our track sponsor, our race sponsor, OSF Healthcare. Appreciate you sponsoring this race at Iowa. It's been fun, guys. We will see you next week in Japan. Until then, good night. Have a good one.